Nothing about this encounter should have been possible. For 16 million years, the great white shark had no equal in this ocean. None.
Then, in October 1997, researchers watched that reign end in minutes.
This shark can smell 1 drop of blood in 25 gallons of seawater. It can sense a heartbeat buried beneath sand. Its bite exceeds a ton of force.
None of that mattered when a single orca approached, without hesitation, without fear. Within minutes, the great white shark was gone. Not injured, gone. This is the story of the rivalry that rewrote what science thought it knew about the ocean's top predator. It happened here, off a cluster of remote islands near California, home to massive seal colonies. Hammerhead sharks gathered here every autumn to hunt. Researchers had tracked them for years. That October morning, they watched an orca do something no one had ever documented before. It flipped the shark completely upside down, and the shark simply stopped moving. Sharks flipped upside down enter tonic immobility. Total, helpless paralysis. The orca had found the shark's one true weakness, and it knew exactly how to use it. Within days, every hammerhead shark in these waters was gone. For the entire season, the seals here swam with a freedom researchers had never witnessed in this location. Remove the ocean's top predator, even for one season, and the entire ecosystem shifts instantly. This single sighting launched decades of research into a rivalry almost no one believed existed. Then, off the southern coast of Africa, the exact same story repeated itself. Dramatically. This bay was famous for its sharks, drawing tourists and researchers from every continent. In the early 2000s, 2 orcas began appearing here. 2 specific individuals. One had a bent dorsal fin, letting researchers track it across years of confirmed sightings. These 2 hunted together, consistently, refining a technique that shocked everyone who witnessed it. One orca isolated the shark. The other struck from a completely different angle. Within weeks, sharks vanished from this famous bay. Not for a season, for years. The answer washed ashore. Literally, great white shark carcasses, several of them, along this exact coastline. Each shark had been opened with surgical precision, the massive liver removed. Nothing else touched. This was not chaos. This was calculated, deliberate, and remarkably efficient hunting. A great white's liver can weigh several hundred pounds. Pure, calorie-dense fat and oil. Orcas were not hunting sharks randomly. They were hunting for one exact, valuable organ.
This discovery reshaped everything researchers thought they knew about orca hunting strategy.
It also raised an urgent question. Why had no one seen this behavior before 1997? The answer starts with the shark itself. 16 million years of near-perfect design. This shark faced no consistent predator for its entire evolutionary history. None whatsoever. It became the undisputed apex predator across nearly every coastline it patrolled. Untouchable. Then a different kind of intelligence entered the picture. One built on memory, not just muscle.
The orca is not a whale. It is the largest member of the dolphin family. And it hunts in packs.
Its brain, massive relative to body size, supports one of the most complex social structures in nature.
Orca pods stay together for life, led by an elder female carrying decades of hard-won knowledge.
That knowledge includes hunting techniques passed carefully across generations, learned, not instinctual. Different orca pods develop entirely different hunting cultures, refined, specialized, and shared deliberately. One orca likely discovered this shark hunting trick by accident, then taught it to everyone around it. That is how a single discovery can quietly reshape the top of an entire ocean food chain.
There is one more crucial advantage. Orcas are warm-blooded. Sharks are not.
Warm blood means sustained speed. An orca can chase far longer than any shark can possibly manage.
This single biological difference may explain why orcas win every single documented time.
Satellite tags proved something even more remarkable. Sharks fled the instant orcas were confirmed nearby.
Untagged shark fled over 100 miles offshore within hours of a single orca sighting. That shark did not return for the rest of the entire tracking season, not once. This same pattern repeated across dozens of tagged sharks, proof of genuine, learned, lasting fear. Sharks were once assumed incapable of learning. This data proved that assumption completely wrong. Sharks remember, and they actively avoid every location where orcas have previously been detected. Speed matters too. An orca's tail generates propulsive force no shark can consistently match. That speed lets orcas control the entire encounter, dictating exactly how it unfolds from start to finish. A shark relies on straight-line bursts, not sustained agility. Once outpositioned, it has no answer. This rivalry did not stay confined to two locations. It began appearing across the globe. Off the coast of Australia, researchers documented near-identical hunting behavior within a matter of years.
Tourism operators here, like in South Africa, reported sudden, prolonged shark absences they could not initially explain.
Drone footage eventually confirmed it. The same coordinated, deliberate hunting strategy, executed with chilling precision.
New Zealand reported similar cases soon after. This was no longer a strange, isolated anomaly.
Wherever orcas and great white sharks shared the same water, this exact same story eventually unfolded. Researchers now debate whether orcas discovered this independently or whether knowledge somehow spread between them. California and South Africa lie thousands of miles apart, yet both developed this exact behavior within years. That question remains genuinely unresolved, and it may be the most fascinating part of this entire story.
To understand it fully, we need to look closer at exactly how orca culture actually works. Every orca pod is led by a matriarch, often decades older than every other member she guides.
Some matriarchs live well past their 60s, carrying decades of hunting knowledge unmatched anywhere else in the pod. Researchers have documented matriarchs actively demonstrating hunting techniques to younger orcas, repeatedly and patiently.
This is genuine teaching, not simple imitation. A behavior documented in remarkably few species beyond humans.
Chimpanzees teach, elephants teach, and now we know with certainty orcas teach as well. This teaching explains why hunting cultures differ so dramatically between orca populations separated by thousands of miles. In Antarctic waters, some pods have learned to create coordinated waves, washing seals directly off ice flues. This exact technique has never been observed anywhere outside this specific, isolated population of orcas. Elsewhere, pods have learned to intentionally beach themselves briefly, snatching seals directly off the sand.
That maneuver carries genuine risk. A stranded orca can die if it cannot return to deep water quickly.
Young orcas practice this exact technique for years before attempting it during an actual, real hunt.
This level of patient, deliberate practice reflects genuine cognitive planning, not simple, unconscious instinct alone.
Viewed within this context, shark hunting becomes simply one more specialized skill within an already sophisticated culture.
It is remarkable, but it is not entirely unprecedented once placed alongside everything else orcas already do. This raises a fair question. Where did the name killer whale even come from in the first place? Centuries ago, sailors watched orcas hunting large whales and coined a term that has stuck ever since.
They originally called them whale killers, a name that eventually reversed into killer whale over generations.
That name shaped public perception for centuries, painting orcas as mindless, aggressive killers of the open sea.
Modern research has thoroughly dismantled that reputation. Wild orcas have never confirmed killed a human being.
Not once, in all of recorded history, has a wild orca been confirmed to fatally attack a person.
That fact alone should reshape how anyone understands this predator's true nature within the wild ocean.
Orcas are precise, selective, and deliberate hunters. Never indiscriminate, never careless, never simply violent. The great white shark, similarly, has suffered from decades of exaggerated, undeserved fear within popular culture. Statistically, humans face vastly greater danger from car accidents, from lightning, from ordinary household falls.
Both predators, in truth, pose far greater danger to each other than either genuinely poses to us.
That reframing matters enormously for how we choose to protect both species going forward, together. This rivalry is not unique to the ocean. Similar dynamics play out among apex predators across the entire planet.
On land, lion prides regularly kill hyenas, competing for the exact same territory and food resources.
Wolves and bears clash over carcasses across North American forests, each asserting dominance when opportunity allows.
In every documented case, intelligence and coordination consistently outweigh raw individual strength and size.
This pattern appears so consistently across nature that researchers now consider it a genuine, predictable ecological rule.
Social, cooperative predators consistently displace solitary ones, regardless of individual size or raw physical power.
This is precisely why the orca, despite weighing less than the largest sharks, consistently wins these encounters.
Once footage of these encounters finally reached the public, this story spread far beyond scientific journals alone.
Drone footage of orcas hunting mako sharks became some of the most widely viewed wildlife footage ever captured.
That attention brought genuine benefits, funding new research and drawing public interest toward ocean conservation broadly.
It also brought challenges, as sensationalized headlines occasionally overstated or oversimplified the genuine science involved.
Researchers worked carefully to correct that record, ensuring the public understood the true complexity involved here.
This is not a simple story of monster versus monster. It is a story of adaptation, intelligence, and genuine balance.
We turn now toward what researchers are actively working to understand next, as this story continues unfolding today. Genetic studies now compare orca populations worldwide, searching for shared ancestry among shark hunting individuals specifically. If shark hunting orcas share genuine genetic links, that would strongly favor a shared origin over independent discovery. If instead these populations show no genetic connection, that would strongly favor independent, convergent discovery entirely. That research remains ongoing, with results expected to reshape our understanding within the coming years, genuinely. Expanded tagging programs now track shark movement patterns across entire ocean basins, not simply single coastlines. This broader view helps researchers predict exactly where and when future orca encounters might genuinely occur. That predictive capability could eventually help protect vulnerable shark populations from unnecessary, avoidable additional stress. This is why patient, careful science matters so genuinely, even when studying something as dramatic as this rivalry. Behind every dramatic headline sits years of quiet observation, careful data collection, and genuine scientific rigor. We owe genuine respect to that rigor, the true engine behind everything we have shared throughout this documentary.
The researchers who witnessed that first 1987 encounter almost missed it entirely. They were conducting a routine shark survey that morning, expecting nothing beyond ordinary, familiar observation. Then the water erupted unexpectedly nearby, and they turned their cameras just in time. That single, fortunate moment of timing changed marine biology forever, entirely by genuine accident. They reviewed the footage repeatedly that evening, barely believing what their own cameras had captured. Nothing in existing scientific literature had prepared them for what they had just witnessed firsthand.
Their published paper faced intense scrutiny before acceptance, reviewers demanding exhaustive proof for every claim.
That rigor mattered. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and this team delivered exactly that.
This naturally raises another question. Do great white sharks show any genuine defense against this threat? Researchers have observed sharks becoming noticeably more cautious in regions with confirmed recent orca activity. This depth shift represents a genuine defensive strategy, trading familiar hunting grounds for relative, temporary safety. It comes at genuine cost, though, since deeper water typically offers sharks less abundant prey to hunt. Hammerhead sharks essentially face an impossible choice: risk the shallows for food or retreat deeper for temporary safety. That single dilemma reshapes an entire population's behavior, season after season, wherever orcas regularly appear.
We return now to South Africa, where researchers tracked those two specific orcas across nearly a decade.
That decade of tracking revealed something genuinely unexpected about how far a hunting partnership can travel. These two orcas were documented moving across hundreds of miles of coastline, hunting sharks at each new location. Wherever they appeared, the exact same pattern followed. Sharks fled. Carcasses eventually washed ashore.
Local researchers began recognizing their arrival before any confirmed sighting, simply by watching shark behavior shift.
Sharks would grow noticeably scarce days before any orca was actually, visually confirmed nearby. This suggested tiger sharks could detect orca presence through means researchers still do not fully understand today. Sound travels remarkably far underwater. Orca calls may carry warning signals across miles of open ocean.
Sharks may simply be listening, long before any human observer ever spots an approaching dorsal fin.
This theory remains unconfirmed, but it fits everything else researchers already know about shark sensory capability.
We examined briefly how shark absence can ripple through an ecosystem. That ripple deserves closer examination now. Kelp forests like this one depend on a delicate balance maintained carefully across multiple predator levels. Sharks help control seal populations. Seals help control fish populations. Fish help control grazing sea urchins. Left unchecked, those urchins can devour entire kelp forests, collapsing habitat for countless additional species. Remove the shark from the top of this chain, even temporarily, and every single link below genuinely shifts.
This is precisely why marine biologists monitor orca and shark interactions so carefully, year after year.
A single rivalry between two predators can quietly determine the health of an entire coastal ecosystem. That connection, invisible to most observers, is exactly why this documentary has spent so much time explaining it.
Modern research now uses artificial intelligence to review thousands of hours of drone and camera footage automatically.
This technology flags potential encounters instantly, work that once took researchers weeks to review manually. Citizen scientists now contribute too, submitting their own footage from whale watching tours and private boats.
This crowdsourced data has expanded coverage dramatically, catching encounters research vessels alone would have missed entirely.
Ordinary people, simply by sharing footage, have genuinely contributed to serious, peer-reviewed scientific understanding.
This collaborative approach represents science at its most genuinely accessible, connecting curious observers with careful researchers.
Every documented encounter, however small, adds another data point toward a genuinely complete scientific picture.
We may be closer than ever before to finally understanding exactly how this rivalry first, genuinely, began. That understanding matters beyond simple curiosity. It matters for genuinely protecting both remarkable species going forward. Great white sharks remain classified as vulnerable across much of their global range, facing genuine, mounting pressure.
Overfishing, accidental bycatch, and habitat degradation all threaten this species far more than any orca genuinely does.
Orca predation, by comparison, represents a natural check this species has likely faced for millions of years. The genuine threat to great white sharks has never come from orcas. It has always come from us. That is an uncomfortable truth this documentary will not shy away from acknowledging, honestly and directly. Orcas, too, face genuine threats, from pollution, from noise disruption, from declining prey availability worldwide. Ocean noise pollution, from shipping traffic alone, can disrupt orca communication across vast distances entirely. Coordination that once relied on clear, precise acoustic signals grows harder within a genuinely louder ocean. Some orca populations already face genuine food scarcity, their traditional prey depleted by decades of human fishing. Shark hunting behavior may represent, in part, a genuine adaptation to exactly that growing scarcity. A calorie-rich shark liver becomes genuinely valuable when traditional prey like squid grows harder to reliably find. If true, this rivalry may reveal something troubling about the wider health of our planet's oceans overall.
A remarkable behavior, born partly from genuine necessity rather than simple curiosity or opportunity alone.
That possibility remains unconfirmed, one among several genuine theories researchers continue actively investigating today. Conservation policy increasingly considers this rivalry when designing marine protected areas across multiple coastlines. Protecting one predator without considering the other risks, disrupting a balance millions of years in the making.
Effective conservation now requires understanding entire predator relationships, not simply protecting species in isolation.
This rivalry, studied carefully, has genuinely improved how conservationists approach ocean protection more broadly.
That improvement stands as one more reason this seemingly small discovery carries genuinely large significance.
Researchers now present this rivalry at international conferences, sharing findings across borders and disciplines entirely. Marine biologists, geneticists, and conservationists all contribute their own expertise toward this shared understanding. This collaborative approach reflects modern science at its genuine best, patient, thorough, and honestly uncertain where needed.
We have shared throughout this documentary exactly what researchers know, and honestly acknowledged what remains unknown.
That honesty, we believe, ultimately serves this remarkable rivalry far better than any exaggerated alternative could. We move now toward gathering everything examined together into one final, complete, honest reflection. We have traveled from a single October morning toward genetic research, ecosystem collapse, and modern conservation policy. Each thread, woven together carefully, reveals a rivalry whose significance extends genuinely far beyond simple spectacle. This is not simply two sharks fighting. This is intelligence, adaptation, and an entire ocean's careful, hidden balance. We hope you now understand this rivalry with the same depth and respect the researchers themselves genuinely earned. That respect, earned through decades of patient, careful, and often difficult observation, deserves genuine, lasting recognition. We offer that recognition now, complete and genuine, gathered from everything we have carefully shared together. We are ready now to bring this entire documentary toward its complete, honest, and genuinely meaningful conclusion. We have examined biology, technology, culture, conservation, and the genuine science behind every claim we have made. Every claim shared throughout this documentary rests on peer-reviewed research, careful tagging data, and confirmed footage. We have avoided sensationalism wherever genuinely possible, letting the documented facts speak entirely for themselves. Those facts alone proved remarkable enough, requiring no exaggeration whatsoever to genuinely hold your attention. 2 apex predators. 1 documented, undeniable rivalry. A scientific discovery that reshaped an entire field of study. We carry that reshaping forward now, into the final words this remarkable rivalry has genuinely, completely earned. A powerful great white shark, a symbol of the wild ocean, patrols these waters tonight.
Somewhere within this same vast ocean, an orca pod continues its own patient, coordinated journey nearby. 2 predators, 2 remarkable stories, 1 shared ocean connecting them across every mile of open water. We have followed both closely throughout this entire documentary, honoring their story as completely as genuinely possible. That story continues today, unfolding quietly across every ocean where these 2 species genuinely overlap. We do not know exactly when or where these 2 predators will next meet directly within this vast ocean. We can only continue watching, tracking, and carefully documenting whatever this remarkable rivalry reveals next. That documentation continues today, researchers still actively tracking both predators across multiple ongoing global projects. We owe genuine gratitude to every one of them, honoring their patient, careful, ongoing dedication to this work.
For now, we have established everything necessary to close this journey with genuine confidence and careful understanding. We know now who these predators genuinely are, what makes each remarkable, and why their rivalry matters. We know why it stayed hidden so long, and exactly how patient science finally brought it into view. We know what it teaches us about intelligence, about culture, and about nature's own endlessly shifting balance. That knowledge belongs to you now, as much as it genuinely belongs to every researcher who helped uncover it. We are ready now, finally and completely, to close this journey exactly where it always genuinely belonged, in genuine gratitude, in honest understanding, and in lasting, sincere respect for this remarkable ocean rivalry. Thank you for crossing this remarkable distance with us, from fear of the unknown toward genuine wonder.
This is Orca versus Great White Shark. Alive, extraordinary, patient, and finally, genuinely, completely understood.
This has been Underwater Extreme's complete telling of the rivalry that terrified an entire generation of scientists.
May you carry its lessons forward, wherever your own path leads, across any sea, any ocean, any extreme. May you remember that fear, replaced with genuine understanding, always reveals something far more interesting. May you remember that intelligence, patience, and teamwork can outmatch raw power, wherever nature genuinely allows it. May you remember that even the ocean's fiercest rivalries serve a genuine, balanced purpose within nature. This is Underwater Extreme. Thank you for sharing this entire remarkable journey with us, from beginning to end. The rivalry remains, the story continues, and we are grateful, sincerely, that you were here to find it with us. We leave this rivalry now exactly as we found it, patient, extraordinary, and endlessly, quietly fascinating. Every wave, every current, every silent encounter continues its own story, entirely without this documentary. We were only ever brief, grateful visitors, honored to have witnessed even a small part of this remarkable story. That witnessing has been the true honor of this entire, remarkable, careful, documentary journey together. The great white shark remains one of the ocean's most extraordinary predators. That has never genuinely changed. It simply now shares that ocean with something equally extraordinary, something willing and able to challenge it directly.
The orca, for its part, continues proving exactly why intelligence and teamwork consistently reshape nature's own rules.
Two apex predators, one shared ocean, a rivalry that will likely continue for as long as both species survive. We are simply fortunate to be alive during the exact moment science finally learned to watch it unfold.
This is the true story behind every dramatic headline written about orcas and great white sharks.
Not a monster story, a science story, one built on patience, evidence, and genuine scientific wonder. We hope this documentary has offered you exactly that. Genuine understanding, grounded firmly in honest, careful fact. Nature does not need exaggeration to be genuinely astonishing. It simply needs to be observed, carefully and honestly. That is exactly what happened on that October morning in 1987, and every documented encounter since. We owe genuine gratitude to every researcher who braved uncertain weather and long hours to document this rivalry. Without their patient, careful work, none of what we have shared today would ever have been genuinely known. We carry that gratitude forward now, toward the final reflection this remarkable rivalry genuinely deserves. Two predators, one rivalry, a single scientific discovery that reshaped an entire ocean's understanding forever. We began this documentary asking how something so unexpected could remain hidden for so genuinely long.
We ended understanding exactly why. The ocean is simply too vast for any single observer to watch it all.
It took decades, dozens of researchers, and countless hours of patient observation to finally reveal this truth. That truth continues unfolding today, somewhere within this same vast, connected, endlessly fascinating ocean.
This is the story of the rivalry that finally taught science, and the ocean's hierarchy was never truly settled.
It is the story of intelligence outmaneuvering raw power, of memory outlasting instinct, of teamwork rewriting nature's rules. We thank you for spending this time with us, exploring one of the ocean's most genuinely remarkable rivalries. This has been Underwater Extreme's telling of orca versus great white shark, the rivalry that terrified scientists. May you carry its lessons forward, wherever your own curiosity about this vast, interconnected ocean leads you next. May you remember that even the ocean's fiercest rivalries serve a genuine, balanced purpose within nature. May you remember that fear, when replaced with genuine understanding, always reveals something far more interesting. This is our ocean. Nothing about this rivalry was ever an accident, and its story is far from over. Thank you for watching. Thank you for questioning what you thought you already knew about this ocean. This water remains, exactly as it always has, waiting quietly for whoever looks closely enough to understand it. We hope you now look at both of these predators, and every predator like them, with new and genuine understanding. This has been Underwater Extreme. This has been Orca, aka killer whale versus great white shark, finally, genuinely understood. The rivalry brought us here. The truth is what we leave behind, for you to carry forward. This is our sea. This is our ocean, and its story, like every wave that shapes it, is far from over. Somewhere below, a great white shark continues its ancient, patient patrol beneath these same golden waters. Somewhere nearby, an orca pod continues its own coordinated, purposeful journey through this same vast water. Two remarkable predators, one shared, endless ocean, a rivalry as old as the sea itself, and just as alive. This is our ocean. This is the rivalry that terrified scientists. And it is far from over.